I'm Laura Dahl with the Georgia State University Oboe Studio, and I'm here today to teach you how to play on the tip of the reed. You can see behind me, one of my favorite signs, and what I tell my students a lot, is to play on the tip. And if you take private lessons, you might have heard this phrase before. It might make you feel kind of anxious. It might make you feel like you need to do something strange with your reed in your mouth, something strange with your embouchure to get onto the tip of the reed. But I'm here to tell you today that it's actually a very simple process to do because you already know how to play on the tip of the reed. We have all learned through bad experiences that when we play with too much reed in our mouth, in the low register, bad things can happen. For example, that. So the note doesn't come out or it cracks, it sounds bad, and that's because we have too much reed in our mouth. So we have all learned through these experiences that when we play a low D, we're going to automatically take some of the reed out of our mouth. And there's your low D. Playing in that low D embouchure, as I like to call it, is actually playing on the tip of the reed. The problem comes is that as we go up the scale, we tend to put more and more reed in our mouth thinking that we're going higher, so we need to get more reed in our mouth, and that's actually not true on the oboe. The note that you need to put a little bit more reed in your mouth doesn't happen until high A above the staff with the side octave key, this high A. Up until then, you're going to want to stay in that low D embouchure the entire time. So what that looks like is I have my students play a low D and then uncover the half hole and don't change anything about your embouchure and see what happens on the tuner. It is perfectly in tune, and if you do this at home, you're going to find that it's perfectly in tune for you as well. My guess is that you usually are about here is where I hear students putting a half hole D and their octave key E, F sharp, and G. So you want to train yourself that instead of thinking about putting more reed in your mouth as you go up in the scale, you just stay on that low D embouchure. You don't have to work any harder, you just stay in that low D embouchure. It feels really comfortable, and you don't change anything until you get to that high A. So the good news is you can work less, and you already know how to play on the tip of the reed by just thinking of playing with a low D embouchure. I hope that helped, and good luck.